Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple Ardoofus, and welcome to Buddy Reads, where I read a small selection of a book and review it for you. Today we are finishing Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, so I hope you finished it yourself because I do not want to ruin anything for you. Yes, you heard that right. We are finishing it today, and I'm going to spoil the ending for you, so if you have not finished it yourself, do so before watching this, unless you just adore spoilers and you're a crazy person. This section starts off with the princess coming to Perrault and his two cohorts, and she's like, I hear that you have my handkerchief. And Perrault just kind of looks at the two fellas like, you doubted me, but look. And Perrault says, I did not know it was your handkerchief, but why? How is this your handkerchief? Your name starts with an N. This one has an H on it. And she says, oh, but it is the Russian N. And he is like, oh. And so the two men are like, oh. And they start questioning her further. And you find out that she was actually linked to the Armstrong case. You're like, oh, interesting. This kind of piles on the evidence against her. Perrault eventually says, we don't have enough for you, so please, could you leave and we'll have someone go fetch someone else. And the two guys are like, what? What are you doing exactly? And he's like, I am making guesses. And if these guesses are correct, well, I will let you know. So they bring in Colonel Arbuthnot, and he comes in, and they're talking to him, and he eventually says, you know, something is weighing on me, and I just must confess that I too knew about the Armstrong case, and interesting. Colonel Arbuthnot is like, I just feel so much better letting you know that. I shall leave you to your work. And Colonel Arbuthnot leaves. And then they call in Mary. And Mary comes in, and she is very contrite as always. She's very just like, I don't want to give you any answers. And Perrault keeps on pushing her until finally she just goes, oh, right! I knew about the Armstrong case. I was there, and I knew the woman personally, and we were more than friends, we were sisters. And Perrault looks at the other two guys, and the other two guys are like, what? And Perrault just kind of gives them this, like, knowing look, like, oh, I knew it, you bastards. And then she, like, leaves, and then the private eye comes in, and soon everyone's coming in, and they're like, okay, I have to tell you, I was this person on the Armstrong case. I was this person on the Armstrong case. I was this person on the Armstrong case. And the two guys are like, is everyone on this train associated with the Armstrong case? And Perrault's just kind of sitting there like, The two men are like, okay, so everyone's associated with the Armstrong case, but what does that have to do with who killed him? Perrault says, I believe I know the answer. If you could call everyone in, I have two different ideas of what might have happened. Eventually everyone comes in. Perrault starts giving his two different stories. And the first story is that there was a man who had hopped on the train while it was stopped, and he had killed Ratchet and left. With the disguise and everything hidden away, and, everything worked out like that. And they're like, okay, but who was it? And Perrault's like, patience. Before I reveal who that killer was, why don't I tell you about my second little story here. My second little story, because it's a little something like this. You are all familiar with Cassetti. That was the name of Racket. And he's like, and you were all aware of his presence on this train. And there were 12 different stab marks on the body. And there are 12 different people here. I put it to you that Cassetti did not want to go to sleep, but he was drugged. He was drugged, and so he had been lulled into a peaceful sleep to ease the way of which the murderer might enter. And everyone's like, so who was a murderer? And he's like, patience, I'm getting to it. And he says, and first the murderer comes in, he sees the body, and he stabs. And they're like, okay, who was it? And he's like, wait. He leaves. And then we have another person come in. They see the body, and they stab. And they're like, who was that? And he's like, oh, hold on. And they leave. And then another person comes in, and they stab. And they're like, what? Who was that? No. Petit moment. He says, I am coming to this realization because after I was looking over all of the accounts of everyone, I noticed that the alibis that were formed to me were because of unlikely cohesion in the people such as the valet and the colonel. How did they know each other? How could they possibly have been and spent the entire night together? Or there was the Englishwoman and the French lady. Why would they be together? And all of these people are confirming each other's stories, but there is no true link to link these people together, except for one instance. And that one instance is they were all involved in this Armstrong case. I put it to you people that, well, you have all stabbed Mr. Ratchet. Everyone's like, and I'm thinking, he's surrounded by murderers, and he just, like, told them that he knows they all killed that same guy. Couldn't they just kind of overthrow him and kill him too? I believe it was the princess who was like, oh, I have to confess. You are absolutely correct, Mr. Perot. We all did it. We all took a stab at that man. But I have to confess that I was the ringleader. I would have done it myself, and I could have done it myself, but I felt that everyone wanted to get their own little poke at him. And Perot turns to one of the two gentlemen, I believe it was Bach, and Bach says, you know, Perot, I rather prefer your first story. And if I think everyone will agree that there was an, unnamed man that climbed aboard the train and stabbed him and ran away, then I will say that my medical theories were incorrect. And Perot looks at everyone else, and they just kind of nod their head, and Perot says, well then, I believe this case is finished. And now I realize that I don't have any more space on my card, and you are not actually seeing me, so, oh boy. Maybe I might have to re-record this. Anyways, that's exactly where the book ends, though. Is he's like, I rest my case. And those are the last words in the book. It ends so abruptly. I'm a little miffed by that ending. Just a little, though. Like, I still thoroughly enjoyed the book, but the way that it just kind of cuts off and then no actual resolution after you find out, it's just kind of... or a very quick snippet of a resolution. And I'm like, okay, fine. I can't really fault it that much just because I enjoyed the book so much. But, yeah. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you like this video specifically, go ahead and click the like button. And go ahead and leave a comment letting me know what you look like. Because you can't see what I look like right now or what I'm doing. I've been Elliot the Purple Alert. This has been Buddy Reads, reminding you to watch your pajama radius. And I will see you all in my next video, whatever that may be. Toodles!